We have Yasmine Taeb, a member of the Democratic National Committee, who joins us in the studio. Yasmine, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
This is already barreling up to be a crowded playing field for 2020 among the Democrats. Early polling, though, showing that Sanders does have quite a bit of a lead, trailing slightly behind former Vice President Joe Biden. What do you think the challenges are going to be for Sanders this time around?
So Senator Sanders is obviously well positioned this time around, making a second bid for president. He, as you noted, this is a very crowded primary, and he is coming in already with hundreds of thousands of grassroots supporters and donations that came in just on the day today that he announced. He's one of the most popular politicians in the entire country. So I think he has a lot of great things going for him. In terms of challenges, the same criticisms that he got the first time around, folks within the Democratic Party were upset that he doesn't identify as a Democrat and yet he runs on the ticket. So I think that those challenges will still be there.
Do you think, though, and I'm glad you touched on that, in 2016, though, the DNC had apologized to then candidate Bernie Sanders. The leaked emails seemed to reveal that the party's leadership had made an attempt to hurt Sanders and boost Hillary Clinton as the Democratic nominee. Do you think that we'll see more neutrality within the DNC this time around?
Absolutely. So I'm an elected member of the Democratic National Committee. I was elected in 2016. In full transparency, I ran as a Bernie delegate. So I supported Senator Sanders in his first bid. And, that has been a concern of DNC members, not just those who supported Senator Sanders, but those that supported Secretary Clinton, because we want to ensure that, especially right now, that the number one priority for us is to ensure that we defeat Donald Trump, period. That's the number one priority, and making sure that we get communities of color engaged, making sure that the grassroots is plugged in, that they're active, that they're going to be supportive of the efforts of the party, and that they feel as though that they're part of the process. And we want to make sure that the DNC this time around absolutely is going to be very neutral.
So the president has already come out with one sort of, attack that could probably be attributed to some of the policies of Sanders, more of the progressive policies, and that is he and Republicans are railing against socialism. And they're not using Sweden, a very great example of socialism. They're using Venezuela as socialism gone wrong.
Right.
Do you think that that's going to be an effective attack? And something a little bit to be feared or to have to be rebutted by the Democratic Party, since we're seeing maybe a more liking to some of these progressive policies among Democrats?
I don't think it's going to be effective. Senator Sanders is running on key democratic principles that I support, that a lot of my colleagues in the younger generation, supporters, want. Medicare for all. We want a $15 living wage. We want to ensure that every single student who wants to get a college education is able to go to public schools tuition free. So the principles that he's running on, these are overwhelmingly supported by our communities, by voters in the party. And I think that Trump is going to do what he can in terms of painting democratic socialist principles as this kind of boogeyman that he thinks it's going to rile up his base, but I don't think it's very effective.
Right. Yasmine Taeb, appreciate you coming on. We really would love to have you back, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about in the coming months as this race heats up. Appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.